In this video, we'll discuss how to get this mount to fit on your bike stanchion. A lot of times I try to get some pretty cool shots with my GoPro when I want to attach it to my mountain bike. And one of the spots that I like to put the camera is on my stanchion. Now I use a number of different brackets and pieces. One company I use quite often is CamKix. Now they have a more or less a handlebar type mount, and it's a great mount for handlebars, and it'll work in other areas as well on your bike. But if you notice here, though it fits nicely on the stanchion, the gap between the two pieces, it's just too much for the thumb screws that come with the kit. So let me show you how I customize my thumb screws and make them longer and allow you to put this bracket in different areas of your bike. All right, folks, let me show you how I'm making my custom thumb screws. Like I mentioned a moment ago, I wanna get this CamKix handlebar bike adapter to fit on a stanchion, and I need it to be open up a little bit wider than what the standard thumb screws will allow me to do. So the way I make that happen is I get longer bolts. Okay, so I'm going to use these for my thumb screws rather than what comes stock. Here's a stock one. You can see how much different there is in length. Okay, I mean these are good, but this is, well, they're both good. Depends on what you need to do, but certainly these are much longer. In fact, that's a 70 millimeter bolt there. These are the ones that come out of the box. So what I generally do is I use a vise to push these out. Okay, you can take a little hammer and tap them too. I choose not to because I don't want to mess up the threads just in case I want to use these again at some point. But that's up to you. But once you press them out, it's not really much to really do this. You replace it with the longer bolt. Now what I do then after that is I get some of these also M5 nuts, and I just screw it onto the end of this thing over here. Okay, no big deal. And that locks it on, and there we go. Now what I also like about this is that, let me show you, well I'll show you in a minute. I could put more of these on here, but I'm going to show you in a moment why you'd want to do that. But that's how I make this setup. I use the M5 bolt. This is a 70 millimeter. This is an M5 nut that locks it in place. I got all the parts from McMaster. A great place to get these things from. They really hooked me up when I made a mistake with my order. They were really nice. They took care of everything, so I can't recommend them many more than I'm trying to right now. McMaster just rocks. So the links to all the different pieces are in my description. The bolts, the nuts, and then the thinner nuts, which is what I'm going to show you how to use in just a moment when I put this whole thing together. So great, custom thumb screw. How do I use it? Well, here's that CamKix bike mount adapter. It has, like everything, the little cap ends on here, and I don't want those. So you just kind of, push them out. They generally pop out. Okay, not a big deal. And put them to the side. You don't want to lose them. Maybe use them later on. You have the ability, if you want, you have the option rather, we'll put some CrazyGlue inside of where the caps go, because what I do is I replace them with the thinner screws, thinner nuts. Okay, when you put that on there, it just makes a nice clean, right? A nice clean fit. Bottom line is, like I said, I ordered all these things from McMaster. It was a couple bucks. It was like maybe 11 bucks. It was cheap. So why not get some of the bigger screws? You could just use thin ones for all of them. But I go with the wider ones, the wider nuts for this part here, and the thinner one for these. So it just looks nice. And again, maybe a little bit of glue and it fits in. And then you can put this all together and you screw that in. And the reason why this screw works better is because the cap is going to be capped, right? It's going to stop. You can only go so far. With this nut, you could just keep on going. But what you want to be careful of, and that's what I wanted to get back to, is this. If you take one of your GoPro cases and you put it in there, notice how you can only go so far. See that? you're only going to want to go so far before that's going to hit, which is not a happy thing. So this is a specialty thumb screw. You're not supposed to use this for everything. You don't want to go all the way in. But what you could do is you could, if you needed to, put some more of these on here to take up the space if you need something longer than a regular thumb screw, but maybe not as long as what you make, just so you don't have to have 30 of these things in your bag. Maybe you just want to go with the 70 millimeters and leave them all in there, 65s. And just in case if this is going to go too close, you can put in a couple of these as spacers in there that'll take up the room. And it works really well. So this is how I make those custom thumb screws. I also keep, just in case, some threaded rod with me. Again, obviously M5. Now what I can do with this now, same idea, is I can go and put one of these guys inside over here. And I can even put another one on here just to kind of lock it in if I have to. But what I'm getting at is I can put this together nicely. And then I can put this, and now I can make whatever length thumb screw that I want. Okay, I can put this on here. And now, I've got a lot of room to play and make some pretty nice thumb screws. And now it's just adjustable. These are great. I like these that I'm making now, but they're going to be from here to here 70 millimeters, and that's what it's going to be. I can play around with this a little bit. I can even put some of these on the other side of this if I want to. I mean, there's a lot of options. This gives me even more flexibility just to have it if I want to get the shot. I've got another option. That's pretty much it. I get this bike mount adapter. One place is within the CamKix Grab Go Kit. All right, CamKix is a company I work a lot with. I work a lot with a bunch of different action camera accessory places. I mean, these thumb screws are going to work on all of them, but this specifically one comes from CamKix, a good place to buy stuff from. But it's going to work with anything, so you can use them with any accessories that you have. And this is how I got the stanchion, this to mount on the stanchion. I'm gonna have a video or a link in this video, one of those little YouTube cards. There's a link in this video to a video where I'm actually using this on my mountain bike, and you'll see it in action. So that'll be pretty cool. You can take a look at that. That's all I got. I just wanted to show you how this works. I think it's a pretty neat little idea. It makes it useful for you. Keep a couple of these in your bag of goodies. If you have any comments, leave them. Leave me some comments down below. Tell me what you do. How do you make custom thumb screws? Do you even care? Do you feel it's even necessary? Let me know. And subscribe to the Regular Guy Mountain Biking channel. If you want some more tips about stuff, just want to know what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. That's all I got. Once again, Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking, and thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you later.